So yeah, just finishing up for the night, and I thought, well, I'll just do a quick video of what I'm doing here, because there is people joining our Facebook page all the time and they're new. So this is a quick tip on how to do something like this. So what I've done, as you can see, I've engraved the logo here. When I've cut it out, I've actually used RD Works as part of it, of making the file, and I'll explain that later. And so you do that, and with this material here, this MDF, you can just wipe it down with a wet rag. Comes up very clean. Okay, so I'll just flip it around. So on the other side, I'll actually engrave this side first. You can see that when you wipe it, you get that residue off. So you don't need sandpaper, don't need anything. Just wipe it with a wet rag and give it a wipe. So I'll wipe this down and then I'll show you how I actually made it. So the reason you can pick this up is because those cuts are not cut all the way through. You can just see, if I hold that up, there's 4 parts of that square that has got, see how it's just got that little bit there? Well, there's 2 things you can do. You can just push it out, and if the customer's happy, you don't have to worry about it. But now that it's finished, I can just put that back in, because I've got my template, put it back in there, put it up square in this corner, square down here, so it's back at exactly the same place that I did the job at. And then I can make up another file, and where it hasn't cut, I can make up a file just to do those little cuts. And then do the program again, it'll cut it all out, and each piece will be separated. Now, the reason I do it this way, a lot easier to clean it, flipping it around and all that type of stuff whilst it's together. I've tried it the other way, and you end up, if you make a mistake, you've got to pull all these little pieces out one by one, and needless to say, very time consuming, and I don't want to do that ever again. So that's the way I do it, and I'll take you to the computer now and I'll show you how you get to this stage. Okay, so this is in RD Works. So that's the file there. You can see there's a piece missing. In RD Works, I find it a bit easier. Maybe the Lightburn users can tell me that Lightburn does it. Lightburn has a thing like this, it's called tabs, but in RD Works, you click handle, click bridge, and up here you can put in your dimension. I've got this one set at 0.4 of a mil, and add manually. So wherever I click this, you're going to get a break, and that's where it's not going to cut. Okay, pretty straightforward. If that was a say a star, you'd put those little breaks into the corners of the star, and that way there you could just push it out and you wouldn't see where you haven't cut. But on this type of image, it's a bit hard to hide. So that's what you do there, and you create the file that you want here, like I've done, and then you export that. So you go File, Export, and then it'll export it as an AI file, okay? And what that does, it exports the actual, your program basically. And then what I do is I just quickly go to Lightburn. That's not Lightburn, that's Lightburn. So then I bring it in here, and I start with one picture, one of it, one little item, and then use the array. So I'll just pause it, and I will delete all these other ones. So now I've only got the one file, and you can see it's got the little breaks in it. So what you now would do with Lightburn is you box that one, go to array, and we go, well, where's my mouse? Go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 across, and now we're going to go up. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, and it shows you the height. So 595. That's fine. That's as far as I went. Well, that'll do for the purpose anyway, what I'm showing you. And okay, and all of a sudden you've got it there. Now what I had, you can see I cut that piece out to make it easy for myself. So what you'd have to do is box all that, group it, which is this one up here. So that makes that all one file, all one file, for a better word. Now with this square on the outside, just let me show you. You draw your little square that you're going to cut out. As you notice, I had the the piece cut out in the laser. So then you would box all that and hit that button right there. Is that the one? Yep. And that centralizes it. So now it's in the middle, it's all symmetrical. So now when you put that in the laser and you do your file, you can just flip it over and do the back of it. It's going to be in exactly the same spot. As long as you do what I did when I showed you in the laser, that I have the piece of MDF jammed in the corner, jammed down below, so that it's in the same position. Now on this job here, if it wasn't exact, if it was 1 or 2 mil out, you're not going to tell anyway. So that's how something like that is done. Probably a little bit more complicated than that. I'll have to make